Hey everybody, today is November 30th, the end of November. This is Earth Science. I'm Mr. Sheridan. I hope everybody's having a great day. What I would like to, we need to review some of the things that are due for the summative and talk about that. And then we're going to talk about how we're moving forward. We are kind of buzzing. We're going to move through this climate unit very quickly because we've covered a lot of this information over your previous career. So we're going to these are all going to be just refresher courses on the environment, climate, how climate and weather are different and that sort of thing. So we're buzzing through these CK12 assignments as we're making sure that everybody's caught up on their summative. But here's the thing, I want to make sure everybody understands we need to get our summatives taken care of. They were due almost 2 weeks ago, and I have about half and less than half of students that have done all three sections. So I'm not going to spend class time going forward talking about the summative. If you have questions or if you need something, you need to address it with me. I'm available via email is the easiest way to get a hold of me. I check my emails consistently. So always send me an email if you have questions about anything to do with the summative. And we'll go forward from there. But let me share my screen. Let's go through what we need to get taken care of. So let's focus on what happened in the past. So now, if you'll see, you can go all the way back here. We can to our actual summative, which is all the way 2 weeks ago now in week 14. Okay, I'm going to read through this because I have a number of folks who are really struggling with the instructions because I have one part of your summative, but not another part. So they were all due on the same day. They were all due November 20th, which was 10 days ago. So if you don't have all three portions turned in, they're very late, and we're not going to spend any class time going back over this again. But I will read through these instructions one more time for those of you who may have missed them and don't quite understand. There are three portions of the summative. The first is a Google form, which is down here. It's attached to the Earth Structure Summative, which has 3 questions. Therefore, take your time and make sure your answers are as thorough as possible. And those students who did well on that portion, use the vocabulary that we have been covering all semester or all for this whole unit. For the second portion, this part I just got graded just now. Those grades are going to be in the book momentarily. So you need to create 2 models. I had some students who talked through the differences and what happens in these convergent boundaries, but you did not create a model, which is a problem. Those of you who used all kinds of props from around your house, great job. That's exactly what I was looking for. Those of you who drew the models of what it looks like when those convergent boundaries come together, that's fine too. So you needed to create 2 models that are drawn or used from items around your house. The first one is a model of convergent plate boundaries where both plates have continental crust. The second is a model of a convergent plate boundary, meaning that they're coming together, where one plate is oceanic crust and one plate is continental crust. With both of these models, you need to either record a video of you explaining your models using the unit's vocabulary, or you can do it as a Flipgrid. So I had a few students who actually created models and did a decent job of typing out their explanations. Most of the students who have turned in this section have actually done it on Flipgrid, and those went very well for most of those students. Then there is a third portion, this one you have to do as a video. However you want to do it. If you want to upload a video to and you can attach it to this assignment, you can, or the easiest way to do it is by a Flipgrid. I know some people are struggling with Flipgrid, but it's still the easiest way. It doesn't take as much internet as you actually recording a video and uploading it. But sometimes, if your internet works crazy late at night, you want to do it, record it during the day and then upload it overnight. Sometimes that would work okay. So, but you need to create a video of some sort. I need you to actually explain the difference between conduction and convection. And what I really need you to focus on is an example. I need you to show me or model convection, and how convection works within the Earth's layers. So that is your third portion. If you have not done all 3 of those things, so number 1, you have to do the Google form. It's right here. Number 2, you have to create 2 models that are both convergent boundaries, one with continental crust and continental crust converging, one with oceanic crust and continental crust converging. So there's a couple of different ways you can do that. And then the third portion is talking about the difference between conduction and convection and explaining how convection works within the Earth's structure. So I wanted to go back over that again because I have a number of students who have not turned in all 3 sections of that summative. If you do not turn in all 3, you will have an NS and it will be counted as incomplete. And it's going to show up as an NS on your grade book. So you need to do all 3 portions. We covered all 3 sections during this unit. You need to do those. So then for today, as you can see, last week we started getting back into doing some CK12s. There are 2 more assigned for today. Some of these are a little bit different this time because I want you to, because they're talking about the relationships between some of these words rather than just defining the words. So things like altitude and temperature. I want to make sure that you're actually, so I want on your vocabulary sheet, I want you to type out altitude and temperature dash, and then tell me what the relationship is between those 2 things. And the same with mountains and precipitation. So you're not going to define the word mountain in temperature and altitude. We know what those things are. What I want you to do is talk about the relationship between those 2 words on your vocabulary sheet. So make sure that you're doing that. Your vocabulary sheet for climate is down here in week 15. So you can add that. And then on Friday, we will cover all the vocabulary that we've done for the 4 CK12s we did last week. And then we'll have 6 again this week. So that's what you all need to be working on. If you have not completed your summatives, I'm begging you, make sure that you do that. If you get your summative grades, I will have all of my summatives in the grade book by today. You need to check in PowerSchool to figure out what your grade is. If you want to retake a summative, you have to tell me by Friday of this week. The date is December 4th. Okay, we're not doing retakes after December 4th. And excuse me, you need to schedule it by December 4th. We can do them later, but you have to tell me that you're going to retake by December 4th. If I haven't heard from you by December 4th, we're not retaking. Don't come to me and wonder why you've got a 1.5 and want to retake right before Christmas break. It's not going to happen. Okay. It's your responsibility. You need to go into PowerSchool, check your grades, and figure out if you want to retake any portion of the summative. So with that, if you have any questions, as always, please email me. It's the best way to get a hold of me. Let me know if you have any questions about your grades, how you did in the summative. If you're struggling to keep up with all the CK12s, please let me know that stuff. If we need to, we can slow down a little bit. But if we can, keep these things rolling right along, we should be able to do a summative on climate before Christmas break. So if you have any questions, as always, send me an email, and I look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow. Have a great